Hello, and welcome to this brief video on alphabetic knowledge. In this video, we'll address basic information on alphabetic knowledge and where alphabetic knowledge expectations can be found in the Ontario language curriculum. We'll also touch on best practices for teaching and assessing alphabetic knowledge. Let's get started with the basics of alphabetic knowledge. Alphabetic knowledge is the ability to name, recognize, and form the letters of the alphabet, as well as an understanding of alphabetic order. Letters are the building blocks of literacy. Alphabetic knowledge is important in that it serves as the basis for many other literacy skills. Not only is it a strong predictor of future reading success, but it also plays an important role in the development of the alphabetic principle, which is the understanding that there are systematic and predictable relationships between written letters and spoken sounds. Being able to name the letters supports the development of phonemic awareness, as most letter names contain their sounds. In addition, letter names are the only stable property of a letter. While the shape and sound of letters may change, its name will not. This provides a common way of referring to each of the letters, which is important for spelling. Letter recognition is one of three processes that occur simultaneously when skilled readers read. The reader recognizes letters in print, determine what the words sound like, and connect to word meaning. Although word processing programs and assistive technology benefit many people, and particularly children with dyslexia and other reading and writing difficulties, technological advances do not eliminate the need for explicit teaching of letter formation. Now we'll focus on where alphabetic knowledge is found in the Ontario curriculum. Alphabetic knowledge can be found in Strand B, Foundations of Language. In grade 1, students use alphabetic knowledge to name and print upper and lowercase letters in and out of order with increasing automaticity. The Language Foundations continuum supports the teaching of the specific expectations. In kindergarten grade 1, students name and form letters both in and out of order with growing automaticity. By grade 1, the continuum narrows to include these same skills, now with automaticity, as well as an understanding of alphabetic order. Alphabetic knowledge is incredibly important for future reading success and is clearly outlined in the curriculum. How should we best teach it? It is important to recognize that in the early years, the students in our class will have a range of alphabetic knowledge. Some will have attended preschool or had a caregiver where formal instruction might have taken place, and/or family members might have begun instruction. Other students might have had little to no exposure or instruction. It is for this reason that we want to ensure that we assess for alphabetic knowledge early on and base our instruction on our assessment data. Research tells us that alphabetic knowledge instruction should be systematic and explicit, like most literacy skills. Systematic instruction, meaning that skills are taught in an order that moves from the more simple to the more complex. Instruction might initially follow the order of the alphabet song and begin with the recognition of uppercase letters before lowercase letters, because they contain fewer potentially confusing shapes and their shapes are more distinct. Once phonics instruction occurs, instruction might follow the scope and sequence used for teaching grapheme-phoneme correspondences. Multimodal instruction refers to having the learner use two or more of their sensory modalities simultaneously or in close sequence when engaging with the learning. For example, a student using manipulatives during alphabetic knowledge instruction may be engaging their visual, auditory, and tactile modalities. Frequent and brief sessions of instruction are more effective than longer sessions. Through assessment, we might identify students that require instruction that is more intensive, more explicit, more comprehensive, and more supportive, but using the same underlying pedagogy. For these students, we will want to provide more practice opportunities and repetitions, along with feedback and reteaching, in order for them to become proficient. Growing success reminds us that the primary purpose of assessment is to improve student learning. Let's explore how to use assessment to drive our instruction in regards to alphabetic knowledge. Assessment of alphabetic knowledge is a powerful way to support improved student outcomes. We can use a diverse variety of sources to evaluate students' alphabetic knowledge, including early reading screening and diagnostic assessments as assessment for learning to drive evidence-based, systematic, and explicit instruction. Since alphabetic knowledge is a critical skill that predicts future reading skills, assessing students' knowledge and understanding can be done through early reading screening. Many evidence-based screening tools include letter naming fluency subtests for young students, which provide an indicator of which students are at risk to have reading difficulty. We may also find a diagnostic assessment useful to help target letters that should be reinforced or retaught. To sum up, alphabetic knowledge is a critical early literacy skill. Evidence-based systematic and explicit instruction in alphabetic knowledge supports stronger reading, spelling, and writing outcomes for all students. Instruction of alphabetic knowledge should be informed by research that tells us how it should best be taught in the classroom. We want all students to be able to recognize, name, and form upper and lowercase letters in and out of order with ease and automaticity. Thanks for listening and for continuing to build your understanding in order to meet the needs of your students.